Not him. Jeff drank one of those too.
Are we T-Rex yet?
Yeah, we're T-Rex.
Oh, fuck.
All right. No, it's stuck.
Wait,
it's
what do
real
I
now.
look like on the hero?
You look like
Does it show it? Could I
A
see
hero.
it? I need to know where my blocking is.
I'm
You're
looking
good.
for a hero.
Right, we need to
Straight on.
know
It's just a
where we're
straight
Yeah,
at.
right,
Like,
we
what's
need
You
to-
look like the
the
kid from
edge?
Goonies. Fuck
Should
the
we be
hairy
hugging?
meatball.
Like, if we lean in, are we going to get out of focus? I mean, what's our, what are we
Shut
doing
up,
with?
Fucking
Director
filmmakers.
man.
Jesus Christ.
Fucking entertainers,
You've been on.
Cheers.
Cheers.
You've been on.
What have you done, podcaster?
Do we want to
Cumulatively more hours than anything.
Sure, you can't really
by
mention it here
comparison
anyways,
to
right?
anything you
So I don't
guys
give
have
a
I
done.
don't like to, right? All right. We're
And
gonna
we've got better reviews than both of you. So
This isn't a dick waving contest yet. Hold on. All right, we're gonna start. Welcome to the Grit City Podcast. I am Justin.
I'm broken.
I'm Scott.
I'm Jeff.
Yeah, Jeff's setting all the stuff up, getting it awesome and ready for us, and doing that live stream stuff. If you want to check us out on YouTube, I think you can do some of the past stuff.
The live streaming?
The live streaming.
How do you get to live stream?
Well, you got to go to the Patreon because only the Patreons get to check out the live stream. So everyone's looking at our guests, the wonderful Rusty and the wonderful Ken, who broke his microphone stand already.
It's exactly like a penny peep show. You pay a little bit, you get to see a little bit.
Oh, wow.
I think he's trying to not block his moneymaker.
I see.
That's what's up.
Oh, all right then.
That's what
Perfect.
happens. See?
Yeah.
I
It's all
hide
pretty
mine.
now.
You're somewhat pretty. We've got two guys who...
You look almost like me. I don't know why you're talking shit.
You know what's hilarious is Justin actually said he wanted you to play him in his autobiography in the
It's
last
true.
podcast.
That did happen.
Oh,
in the last
really?
podcast.
It really
see
did,
that.
yeah. Yeah.
Guys, this is how I get paid, so.
There you go. That's beautiful on that. Thank you, guys. And seriously, if you want to check us out, check out the live stream and see what you're hearing, patreon.com/Grit City Podcast. $4 a month will get you the access to that. Access
How many bucks?
$4.
Man,
That's
you can't get shit for $4.
no, that's $1 an episode, and that's enough to help us do stuff.
Yeah, but it's
eventually.
not enough to do
Buys
anything
Mickeys.
else, right? So
Yeah.
A
you
month
might
and
as
a
well give
half
it to
of
us.
just you can support Mickey's. $6 a six pack. That's a buck.
I've
a
seen
grenade.
some ladies on Patreon. You can see pictures of them for
Hey, we don't worry about them. They already got hundreds of thousands of Patreons, and now Brogan's going to patreon.com. Suddenly
Maybe
Brogan
you
goes
guys
to
need to
phone.
start getting naked and you'll make some money.
I know. I'm
do you
making
think-
sandwiches.
That's
my
what Jeff
thing.
keeps saying.
Do
Yep,
you think-
naked and making sandwiches? That's
Yeah.
it.
Hashtag Grit City Bears, right?
Oh,
That's the name of our calendar.
Oh,
It should be.
Oh,
Yeah.
Rusty, are you
No,
gonna?
I'm down. Definitely.
Okay, yeah. So I mean, so
My gir- what are those called? The where the fat dudes get in the brolesque?
oh yeah,
Is that
they
what
do
it
like.
is?
Brolesque.
I've heard brolesque. I've heard boylesque. I
What was
guess
it?
as well.
No,
Bearlesque.
Brodoir.
Oh yeah,
Pictures.
brodoir.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She wants some of those. So
Well, there you go. I know some
thank God for Tubby
photographers.
Chasers. Fucking amazing.
Yeah, it's the best.
If you guys want us to, I don't know, if you want us to talk to anybody who's weird, interesting, fun, or informative in or around the Tacoma area, the people that inspire the Grit City mantra, you can do so. info@gritcitypodcast.com. You can find us on all the social media as well, which is just linked right through on this on any listening device that you're listening to. But give us some 5-star reviews or anything like that.
Yeah, we need more.
Yeah.
We've got a few
Yeah.
actually lately.
We,
So
we want some more. We want
need more.
our numbers help our self-esteem. Like anybody knows.
Is it weird I've never rated you guys?
You really should.
I really should.
You really should.
I'm
You-
an asshole friend.
Like, God damn it, Rusty, you've only been on this podcast like
5 times? 6 times?
7, 6.
Apparently, too many times.
I don't
One
think
too many, sir.
I don't think too many
Read
times.
that definition.
No. No, we're not doing this. We're not doing Urban Dictionary definitions.
Of
Fine.
what? What did you look up?
I don't even know.
It doesn't matter now.
Yeah. It doesn't matter.
Aww.
So we do have Rusty with us, and we've got Ken Carlson, who we've had on multiple times as well.
Hey.
Who probably also hasn't reviewed us either.
I know. Have you reviewed us on iTunes or any of those listening devices?
No.
It's fucking
See?
hard to, okay?
It's not really
It's
that
really hard.
Like you click on the
It's very
button
hard.
and you press the 5 and then ask you if you want to leave like words. And then you leave a word or 7 and you're like this show is good. in a smiley face, and boom.
You don't even have to leave a review. You can just do 5 stars, or even better, you could just tell your friends.
But
You
it's
don't
better
even-
if you get comments, right?
It is better if people put
Yeah.
comments. But we do anything helps, right?
All right. I'll do it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yay.
Fine.
Peer pressure.
Just tell all your friends. Be like, hey, I was on this cool podcast. You should check it out. Tell
Cool
everybody
podcast.
you know.
Yeah.
I want to bring up something that Rusty and I did.
Uh-oh.
So this podcast is coming out at the end of September, but at the beginning of September or August,
Oh.
around those ways, Labor Day. I think that was a September day.
It was a thing.
Rusty was
For a moment, I was like, "What the fuck did we do?" Because I kind of forgot for a
really.
moment. Yeah,
You
just
forgot.
now-
I mean,
just now.
I know I was a little tipsy on
I'm
the.
still,
old-
I'm still like, I'm still flaking.
Oh,
Yeah.
look at that! Oh, that's
Nice.
nasty.
Was that at your house?
No, this was on the river. Rusty got sunburnt
no.
on the river. We
yeah.
went down to
Deschutes?
Ole.
Tumwater.
Yeah, to Tumwater and hit the Deschutes,
Yeah.
which was billed as a 2.5-hour float. 5 hours
It
later,
was a lot longer.
it was super fun. It
Yeah,
was
yeah.
amazing. But you got sunburnt. Somehow I managed to not get sunburnt. But our respective significant others both got roasted.
Yeah.
Like
bad.
really
I saw
bad.
the pictures on Facebook.
Bad.
Yeah. But it was super fun. Like seriously, thank you so much for sending us down on that because it was amazing.
What is?
This is the spot where you guys were in the river.
Oh, were you? He filmed. Oh my god.
Oh,
This scene was filmed in that river where you guys floated. in
wow!
Tumwater.
Really, from
No.
Penny Palabras?
Yeah, it's like a mile from my house.
Wow! So you know all about the Deschutes.
I do, absolutely.
Did you know that river is very, very stinky?
Yes.
Yeah.
We found out afterwards, and I was like, my wife was like, "Oh, we smell pretty bad." And I'm like, "Do we? I don't notice." And then I was
It
like,
wasn't
"Oh,
bad
yeah."
until we got to that end part. That
Yeah.
end part fucking.
Oh yeah, the end part that's nasty. You don't want to
Yeah,
go.
yeah.
You want to get out before you get down.
Oh, we.
Oh yeah, well we found out that now. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. You want to get out before the stinky part.
Well, we
Oh,
obviously stopped before the falls.
Right.
But,
Totally.
yeah.
Or
'Cause
you,
it goes
or you
all the way
wouldn't
to-
be alive anymore.
Yeah.
Wow.
But it was still a lot of fun. But I just was like, it was kind of neat to be able to go and do that
That's
and
fun.
get completely and utterly sunburnt.
It was cool until I dumped the floatable cooler that had all of our booze in it.
And I don't even know how you did it because I was so far ahead of you.
Dude, my girl was going under that log.
Oh,
like
so-
she was headed under.
So there
like,
was a log. Yeah, there was a
Yeah.
log that was like perched just perfectly against this huge fast current, and it was a gigantic, like it was a tree that fell in the water. It wasn't a log.
Yeah.
And I remember bumping
Almost
into
like
it.
it was like a tree, like a piece of a tree.
No,
it was a
It was
log.
the whole tree.
The
Not-
whole tree.
Not just a log of the tree, but like
Oh.
like a tree,
Well, thank you for explaining that.
maybe a tree.
How about a trunk?
What's it
Use
with-
trunk.
It was
That's how
yeah, it
Was
was
it like
a
a
trunk.
tree trunk?
It
It
was
was
about
like
a
the
trunk.
main-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of like a log.
Kind of like a log, but
Sorta.
Fucking, I'm gonna buy you a thesaurus, you ignorant fuck.
anyway, the water was going pretty quick against it,
Yeah.
and I almost got my eye taken out because there was one branch that was like sticking right out.
Yeah.
But yeah, so apparently you ended up getting trying to save.
Yeah,
your,
she started her half of the double inner tube started sucking under, and then I went to grab her, and that's when I actually tipped over the cooler. And then all the beers went floating down, but everyone was kind of catching them. We ended up
we
getting
catching
a
we catching
six-pack
up
back or
yeah,
something like
yeah,
that.
we got I think the beer you're drinking right there
Oh
actually
man,
is
this
one
is
that
some
came back.
stinky. Did you wash them?
Oh yeah, they were totally rinsed off. Yeah, they're absolutely rinsed
Man,
off.
I'm gonna shit myself to death.
You might. But
This
it's
is
probably
the stinky part of
It's
the
probably
Deschutes.
from the 7 Mickey.
I'm gonna get the poops.
no, no, it's probably going to be the Mickey's you drank, or maybe the $32 worth of Taco Bell that you bought.
Why are you
earlier
gonna bring
today.
up the Taco Bell?
Because it was still good.
Dude,
I
that
mean,
was still
if you
good.
guys still want some, they're kind of
There's
cold
like a
over there.
bean
No, I'm
burrito and a soft taco.
Sweet.
good.
Pretty tasty.
I just ate at Co-Brew down on the waterfront.
Is that why you were late?
The new restaurant.
Yeah, it's because he didn't give
No,
a
we
fuck
went to
about
the
our
went
time.
to the. Look, you're my friends. I'm sorry. This is normal. I don't know why you think I'm gonna. We got to get there to go see Brogan. That's
That's worth
never
it.
come out of my mouth ever. It never will. They were like, fucking Brogan can wait, yo.
All right, so now we lie to Rusty and make him early to everything from now
Yeah,
on.
Yeah.
That's
We
what I
should-
figured he was
yeah.
doing from the get go.
I should do that. Yeah, this is good to know. So you went to? I don't know anything about Cobra.
So Co-Brew, there used to be a brewery down by the waterfront, Ruston. There was a brewery kind of pub house.
Okay.
Kind of a pub. It was right next to the theater. Like
Oh, and that
by
new the new construction.
There's the ice cream social, and
Yeah.
then there was a brewery.
Was it a brewery or
restaurant.
was it that whiskey bar with the big weird bull picture?
No, that one's right next to the
Yeah, that
theater.
place is delicious.
Yeah, the 521 or something
Yeah,
like
it's
that.
got a weird
Some-
number.
Yeah. But no, this is a little bit further. It was a
Okay.
brewery. It shut down because it's fucking massive. And then it's now I think it's Korean barbecue, or it's a Korean Korean brewery. It's called Co-Brew. And it's
Okay.
got some Korean food.
Okay.
And then they brew their own beer. They got like a ginger beer.
I'm
and-
in on
Ooh,
this.
really? Yeah,
Not like-
yeah. I want to check this out.
Yeah. It was,
Well, okay. So, here's the deal. So, I'm interested in it. How was it?
it was okay.
Okay. Worth
it was-
going
it was
once
no-
to try
it
it
was-
out?
Yeah,
or-
sure.
Okay.
Definitely. I mean,
okay.
fucking try every
Better or
restaurant
worse
out.
than the Church Cantina?
Worse.
Oh, of course. Worse.
What the fuck are you
I'm
talking
going there 2
Well-
Sundays from now.
And, well, also, by the way, you can't get a Cuban over there, can you? No, you can get a Cuban at the church, and Jesus,
They
that's
do
the one
have
thing I can never
bulgogi
get.
sliders though, which is kind of
Ooh,
Yeah.
that's worth trying at least
I didn't
once.
have them. I'm assuming they're good.
Oh. you saw
just-
them there.
It's
you
very,
saw them there.
It's very white.
It's safe to assume bulgogi is good.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you were down there because you were seeing a movie before this.
Yeah, I just saw it.
So
It
part
too.
2
Part 2. Yeah, yeah.
and
Fucking dope.
really,
Really, really good.
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
And I hate scary movies. Like I hate them with a passion.
Really?
Deep-seated passion. Hate
Now is it a fear of those or why? Why do you hate scary
I want to
movies?
punch everything.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm
that's
just
your
not-
fear response
I
to
don't
it.
really have a
He's
fight or
scared.
flight. I just want to hurt things.
Yeah.
The
it's
jump
kinda-
scares?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
No, jump scares are bad. I almost killed a little girl in a corn maze.
Oh, Jesus!
I didn't mean to.
Oh, that's usually how all these stories start.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to.
No,
but
well,
I drop kicked this little girl because she scared me around the
didn't-
corner.
kind of. I didn't connect, but my girlfriend actually, I was like, just, we're arm in arm or
Yeah.
whatever, and they come around a corner, and then this little tiny girl with the scariest shrill in the world, like a banshee shrill,
Yeah.
popped out, and I went to swing at her.
And then you got escorted out of the corn
my
maze.
girlfriend, actually, I kind of threw her across the pathway because I went, and she was holding my arm, so she bumped into the little girl instead, which is awesome because it totally saved me from going to fucking jail.
Yeah, Jesus, dude. So I know not to take you to any of the amazing corn mazes,
Or let them
I'm
around your
not-
kids.
or yeah, or go
Yeah,
to
that's
any
fine.
haunted houses around
No,
here. Or
I don't want to be
anything.
around your kids. It's cool. Don't do that.
Wow.
It's a mutually beneficial
That
arrangement.
fucking is. God
So
damn it.
that freaks you out that bad, and you still
I-
were solid with It Part 2.
Well, it's one of those things you do for your damn girlfriend, right? Like,
All right.
We went and saw the first one. She bartered. She was like, "Hey, I really want you to see this with me because I'm going to be freaked out because she loves the book and blah blah blah."
I did. I had to do that barter system with the movie we're going to be talking about in a little bit.
Yeah.
Any
I
Palabras?
no.
Dead Drift?
No. Scanners.
Ooh.
Yes, because Rusty decided at my house.
I didn't decide. You guys went with it.
This is true. How did it even come up?
We were talking about my old podcast that was pretty
yeah,
good.
rated 80s.
Yeah, yeah.
Is it still available out there on the old
You
interwebs or
can
anything?
find there's episodes on YouTubers.
Cool.
Yeah, give it a
there's
5-star
there's a
review. Be a
couple.
good friend.
Well, I'm not going to get any money from it ever, so you can do
Maybe
whatever you want.
maybe they
to
can
it.
monetize
I'm
it.
Sure.
Yeah,
but-
right. Get your half a cent in 3 years.
Yeah, right. No, we were talking about that, and then Scott really liked.
I did. It was one of my
podcast.
favorite. It was one of my
Yeah.
favorite podcasts to listen to. Because, well, one reason is because I think
You
you're
liked me,
fantastic.
but you didn't
I do.
like Jeremy. Who
No,
I did
it's
the
not
show
that I
with.
don't
No,
like
we went
Jeremy.
over this extensively. You,
No,
did,
no,
you
no,
don't
no,
like
no.
the dude, and I understand.
It's not that
fine.
I don't
No,
like
it's
him.
cool.
I just thought that I think you're funny, and actually I thought I loved what he did production wise because he would put in the old he would put in old 80s ads, right? So he would
Oh,
have
yeah,
like
yeah.
dude, they were great. So he would have they would be talking about some movie, and then all of a sudden they'd put in like a cereal ad from like I don't
Yeah.
know, fucking
Life or
cut-
something.
Hey, Mom, can we have Sugar Smacks?
Yeah.
yes, it was great.
Or
And-
Transformer or GI Joe
yeah,
or something.
dude, he nailed it as far as production value. It was a
that all
beautiful
came
podcast.
from me wanting to go have a cigarette or pour another drink.
Yeah, that's
was like,
usually
we
how
need
we
a
end.
break.
That's usually how we end up breaking
Yeah,
on,
yeah.
on the podcast. I think it's a really solid way. It's like, oh, we need our drinks refilled, and we're going to go back with it.
Yeah.
So I'm sure we were drinking, and we went, "Oh, we should
Who
do
farted?
one."
Did
Had to be
you
on that
fart?
side. Had to
It
be on
wasn't
that side
me.
because the stink on my side.
No, I think Brogan farted. Yeah, he did it before. Sorry, be glad
That's
you
what
guys
you
are
get
really far away.
$40 worth of fucking Taco Bell.
Oh yeah, that was the check I was going with that one.
Got a
We
case of
mentioned that.
beer in us and $40 at Taco Bell. What's gonna happen in this motherfucker?
So we ended up deciding that we would all watch Scanners and then
Yeah.
have you on the podcast.
Yes.
And so we had Ken was coming in anyway, so we're like 2 birds, 1 stone. We're going to talk films with a filmmaker.
Totally.
And Ken, you actually watched it as well, right?
I did, yeah.
Nice. And I know
And you've made films as well, right?
Yeah, a couple.
as well. What films have you made, Scott?
Well, no, I just meant
It's just ones that he doesn't
Wait,
show anybody.
I think you
on
meant
his
I
cell phone.
made them as well as watched them.
there you go.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, I was
Oh,
just- I
it
was-
goes
Have you
back-
made more than this one?
Yeah, a couple more.
Oh,
Yeah,
motherfucker.
so yeah, run down the stuff that you've made, man.
Oh my goodness! I used to produce a TV show on public access from '97 up until 2003 called "Damn It, This Is Stupid." It was a sketch comedy show. Then I
That is
did
stupid.
about half a dozen short films, and then Dead Drift, the science fiction comedy, is a feature-length film available on Amazon.
Which is fantastic. One of
Yeah,
my favorite.
it's one of the
web-based
best, yeah.
things.
It's
Yep.
super great.
We should
That's
just
how I
set
found.
those
That's
up.
how I
Oh,
found.
yeah, here we
Ken,
go.
and we-
Hey, look at that! Ooh, and yeah, if you're
Oh,
looking
yeah.
if you're looking on the live stream, you can actually see these, or at least the covers of them.
Heck
Great.
yeah!
Now we get
Dead Drift
pulled
looks
off.
fun.
Rusty will give those 5 stars, no problem.
Yeah, and then so Penny Palabras was the next. That's a feature film based off of a graphic novel, and so
Which-
that's pretty fun.
Which we've talked about on the podcast.
Yeah,
People can go back
absolutely.
and listen, and we had Dina in as well to talk about that and have some fun. The star of the show.
Are your ears hot?
Rusty-
Yeah, they're sweating. They're like sweaty ears. I don't know.
Swears.
I sweat. Okay.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
fat.
fine.
Anyways, keep talking to your
Yeah,
guy
it's
here.
fine.
Yeah. And so Penny
Everybody
Palabras,
sweats.
Dead Drift.
We did a sitcom pilot last fall. We shot it. It's finished. It's kind of on the festival circuit right now. I'm actually going to find out within the next day or two if it got into the Austin Comedy Film Festival.
Ooh.
It's called Roscoe the Junkyard Cat. It's
Yeah, I know
about-
Jeff was super stoked about this
Nice.
one. This is like, we got to get out and talk about Roscoe. So yeah, tell us about it.
Yeah, so Roscoe the Junkyard Cat is a concept that is about this cat. The cat is a puppet. He lives in a junkyard.
Makes
he
sense.
is a jerk to everyone. At the concept of the sitcom was that at the end of he tries to escape the junkyard to find a home every episode. He gets out and he dies. And he wakes up in the junkyard still.
Oh.
So the premise is that he has to learn to not be an asshole to his friends,
And he'll get out of the
and then he'll be
junkyard.
able to leave the junkyard.
Huh,
So
I
he's
like
basically
that.
got 9 chances because he has 9 lives to sort of escape the junkyard.
Can we get 9 episodes?
That was the idea. We only made the pilot.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So
far.
depending on how the pilot does on the festival circuit, we may or may not make
Yeah,
it.
maybe you get 8 more, maybe you don't.
Right, exactly.
And that's one of it's fun because you're using puppetry
Yes.
with that, which creates its own unique challenges.
Absolutely. And that's actually a very big part of why we're not pursuing that anymore unless we can get a ridiculous amount of funding.
Yeah, it's understandable.
Because working with puppets is a pain in the ass.
Yeah, so if people wanted to do something to help support that, they could probably give you a good review.
Yeah.
Nah, this is
or
gonna
they
stick.
could
yeah,
just
this is how
or they
it's
could just
yeah.
give us a lot of money.
Yeah.
That's
Less
weird,
5 stars, more dollars.
So what's
You
the
know,
problem with
I've-
puppets? What's the problem with puppets?
There are a lot of challenges. For example, when you're running a puppet, like if you're sitting on the ground behind this table holding your arms straight up, well, that's probably not something you're used to doing. This right here.
Yeah.
So now you have to do it take after take after take, and you have to make sure that your hand is matching the movements of your mouth, and you have to make sure also that the puppet
Yeah.
is looking where it needs to be looking.
See,
You're
that's not
ruining
really that
Sesame
easy,
Street
Scott.
for me
I can
right
do
now.
this.
Do
It's-
you?
I have a
think I could keep
tremendous
doing
amount of
this.
respect for those puppeteers, for any accomplished puppeteers, because that shit ain't easy, man.
I have
It
so
is-
many questions right now.
Okay, so ask them.
Do you
That's what your show's
did the same? I do. You don't have to
If
tell
we just
me.
had a podcast where you could ask them.
Right? Yeah, Jesus. Or a
Jeff's
coaster I
getting
could
on
write
it.
them down on and send them
Ooh.
in somewhere.
Yeah, we'll have those too.
So do you? Did the same person that acted the puppets voice them as well?
Yes.
Oh, okay, nice.
Yes.
It'd be kind of hard to do it the other way
You never. I don't know. That's why I asked.
because this person knows how their mouth.
Well,
Oh,
'cause
it's
they
like
don't-
this. It's like the
I don't know
Swedish
about
chef
you,
at
but
that
I'm-
point.
I've
Right.
never had a puppet stick their hand up my ass.
Well, they all have the same lines though, but you
Not
would have a
for free.
script, right? So everybody has the same script, so they just have to read it.
Yeah,
right,
but
but
then
it's
you would
it's
have the
about like the
voiceover.
cadence and the timing
Yeah.
of the delivery. Like you
Well,
know, like
that's a stupid
if you're
question.
working
Ask
the
a different
puppet,
one.
and you
Not
know
a
what he's about
stupid
to say.
question, because they overdub movies all the time. Yeah. And back in the day, they used to even overdub like English-speaking actors with other English-speaking actors just because they didn't like their voice. They're like, yeah, your
That's
voice
what they
sucks.
did to Arnold, man.
Right.
Fucking Vader, man.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's easier when you've got a
there's hundreds
mask,
of
but
them.
when there's actual like
Well,
a
if you got velvety pipes like James Earl Jones on.
yeah, seriously, I wish like my life could be overdubbed by James Earl Jones. That'd be
Okay,
pretty sweet.
so just so you know, now played by Rusty and overdubbed by James Earl Jones. we've basically nailed it.
I think his voice could fit my face pretty well.
Actually, yeah. I'm
It'd
trying to
probably
envision
work
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish
that would
probably
wish
work
we
out
had
okay.
some rights to do that because it would be great to have just play James Earl Jones over Rusty the rest of the
No,
podcast.
there's always going to be a delay because Rusty can never be on time to anything.
Oh. Damn.
Yeah, I'm fine with all of this.
Yeah.
It doesn't affect me.
It's fine. It'll just look like a dub of a Japanese movie, you know?
Right?
Just like a little bit off. And now there's something else you're working on, Ken. The Enter the Mind Dungeon.
Yes, Enter the Mind Dungeon. So Enter the Mind Dungeon is a mockumentary, kind of like in the Christopher Guest style, about a bunch of adults that are addicted to playing Dungeons and Dragons, and like an experimental psychologist who is running a study on them. And then things kind of take a sinister turn, and it turns out that maybe this psychologist is not all he professes to be. And yeah, so right now we're shooting a proof of concept for that, and then we essentially, once the proof of concept is done, we're going to beg for money.
If you ever need a game store to use, I know a guy with a game store that'll let you like come and film in it.
There's actually a scene in a game store in the.
Who's that?
There's some jackass I know.
I've never been there either.
Yeah, well, it's because you're a terrible human being.
Rated 5 stars. on Yelp or
I love how I love how you looked him right in the eyes and you're like, yeah. I've never been to your game store either.
Never been there. Wait, Brogan, real quick.
I'm about to go spend another $100 at his business too.
I know.
That's weird. You've been to my restaurant many a times. I think if you just put out a better product,
Oh.
you know.
Wow.
He drew first blood. I wasn't going to talk to him.
I
Call
know.
me late, motherfucker.
I don't know. I think you got the worst Cuban sandwich in the city.
Oh, obviously.
That's not true.
That's why you've had like
lie.
9 of them.
Leave it alone.
I can't even laugh at that because it's not even true.
Well, it's the only. It is
Like,
the
you're not
only
even,
Cuban sandwich in the city.
Well,
It's close.
It pretty much
Basically,
is.
yeah.
dude, the grilled cheese was fucking great.
I
there.
can't get to the grilled cheese because I can't get past the Cuban.
I
It's
can't.
hard.
The cherry wings are still my favorite thing.
I was the
yeah.
same way with the biscuits and gravy. I stopped there for a very long time, and I own the fucking joint. So, yeah.
You know who?
But I got nothing to do with the kitchen. That's all.
Dude,
that's all my partners.
since we're
It's
talking
amazing.
food real quick, someone
Okay.
just to give out some love, the Valley. I rolled in there
yeah.
again for the Valley breakfast on
Yeah, yeah.
weekends.
Shrimp
Oh
and
my
grits, dude.
god!
Oh, do
dude,
they have shrimp and grits?
They do.
Yeah.
There's not a bad thing on that menu.
I like what is it? The hot mess.
Yeah.
That's what I always get.
Oh sure. I did the I can't speak Spanish. Tequilas.
Tequilas?
Yeah, the little they're like
You gotta describe me.
Tequilas?
they're
Yeah.
just
Taquitos?
delicious.
No, tequilas.
The whole place is just delicious. Just
Yeah.
go there.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
Valley
Love
on
the fucking
on
Valley.
weekends.
Like I'll always talk about.
For
I mean,
breakfast.
I talked
Any
about.
of their restaurants. The Peterson brothers
Oh,
are bad.
yeah,
Valley,
yeah.
1111, the
Yeah. Peaks and Pints.
Oh,
Yeah. I love the Valley. I mean, I'm a total Reuben fanatic, and they have a fantastic one. They even have a vegetarian or vegan one. It's one or the other, one of those words. I don't know what
know
it
they-
is.
That can be a thing.
They figured it
can't
out
be
somehow. It's a reasonable facsimile. I don't know.
They
I'm
do-
not going to eat it because I'll just eat the regular Reuben.
gonna try
But my
it.
wife has had the vegan one, and she says she likes it. And she
They do
doesn't.
vegan tacos at 11:11. The people
How does that work?
I have
the
no
vegan
idea.
Tacos
Are they
really
like
good.
tofu tacos?
might
or are
be
they?
Starfruit.
I don't know.
Starfruit's big.
What the fuck's
for-
a starfruit?
I don't really know.
Or
Oh.
daikon.
No.
Daikon radish is also, I think.
Yeah, that's a big one. Dragon fruit, I think it's called.
Mm-hmm.
It's a replacement. Well, I know we had some dragon fruit.
I know
wanna say
you have. I
sliders.
know you guys have that. You've had them
Yeah.
at church,
you
but
know?
I just
I
don't
just
know for
need a
sure.
beer.
Oh, okay.
There's also like little meat crumbles made out of mycoprotein, which is basically mushrooms
Oh,
and stuff like
yeah.
that.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Simulates ground beef
Yeah.
and
Oh,
tacos.
yeah. Okay.
Like my
Textured
wife's a vegetarian.
vegetable
She uses
TVP.
That stuff.
That's
She's
called
vegan? Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
TVP.
TVP.
Exactly. Yes.
Textual. Yeah, that's another thing I learned.
We're all
from my
talking.
fr- my-
We're all talking vegetarian and vegan stuff, and Scott's like off mic saying, "Stop talking about fake meat." Stop it. You know they got like Impossible Whoppers and shit now too, right?
I was just
I
making
tried
fun
one.
of Ken.
Are
I was
they
like,
good?
you don't know. Anything.
Really?
Is
Yeah.
it good? Are you vegan?
No, I'm not. My wife is a vegetarian. I have been
pay attention. He just said that.
wanting
I had
the Impossible Burger to come to Burger King so I could try it. I even signed up for a mailing list, and they didn't
awesome.
email me. I was just driving by a Burger King, and it said the Impossible Whopper is here, and I was like, "You fuckers were supposed to email me."
Nice.
So, anyways, I took my wife into Burger King, and we got Impossible Whoppers, and she liked it, and I thought it was all right, but I would never order it over a regular.
You were
Like a
was
Whopper,
it like a
okay.
Boca Burger or whatever? Remember?
It was probably the best veggie burger I've ever had, but it was still a veggie.
You're like,
burger.
"Psh,
Yeah.
this shit is totally possible. I don't know what they were
Yeah,
going for.
it was highly possible.
The highly possible burger
I mean,
just
look,
doesn't
they
have that
did
ring.
it. So
Yeah.
proof, right? Every time they sell one, they're fucking up their
Yeah,
their
it
marketing
was very
scheme.
probable
Every
that
time you
burger
sell one,
existed.
you're
The probable burger.
Yeah.
The improbable burger's just buns.
I think we can probably do this. Yeah.
Yeah.
This
I was
is
a little
the-
disappointed, man, because there was a
That's
lot of hype
impossible.
behind that Impossible Burger.
There has been
I think-
so much hype for it.
For vegetarians, it's probably pretty
Well, I think
fucking
the
good.
point of it is to try and, like, if you're a meat-eating person and you go out and you're just like, you just want a quick burger, and you'd be like, all right, I'll have this thing
Yeah.
instead of the meat burger, to maybe to mitigate my footprint or whatever.
Yeah,
it
this is a
And
convert.
I'm like,
This is a converting food.
Right.
This is not a food for
What do they
vegetarian.
convert it from?
I don't
No,
think
they're-
it's not
it's-
converting
whoa,
anybody.
whoa.
Hey,
It's
no. They're trying to trick you into being a vegetarian.
Yes.
That's
Oh,
what they're
yeah,
going.
So I've had girlfgirls try to do that shit.
Yeah. Well, this
I
I
the
think
Burger
they're just
King
trying
is
to
now
trick
being
you
your
into eating
girlfriend.
less meat.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Which I mean is fine. Is still a.
But I think they'll fail
notable
at that
cause.
'cause it's
I'll
not
eat I'll eat like when they add they do the huge shiitake instead of a burger
Yeah,
patty.
right.
Yeah.
I'll eat that.
Yeah.
I've ordered that many a time.
I've done that before, too, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's
it's
like its own thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not trying to be meat. Like, it's actually its own thing.
Yeah, but it kind of feels like meat. I mean, mushrooms are pretty.
I would rather just
That's
have
what
something
you
like.
say.
I would rather go for like a vegetarian taco as opposed
Like,
to.
Scott, you're better than that shit.
No, I wasn't.
No,
Whoa.
he's not.
No, he's not. No, he's not.
Low-hanging
Can
fruit.
confirm.
Are we supposed to be talking about scanners? You guys
Okay.
we got to be
All
at
right,
least
fine.
30 minutes into this. We haven't even talked about the movie
Hey, you're
at
pretty
all.
close to that. Yeah.
Yeah,
All
I
right.
know.
So. Yeah, we all sat down, and we did actually. I did mention it. So we did all sit down and watch Scanners. I think.
didn't.
So Rusty
Of course you did.
Rusty,
I didn't watch the movie.
Fucking didn't watch.
No,
the
no.
movie.
Okay, literally, this is how it worked out. This is how it worked out. Yesterday, got home,
Yeah.
started watching Scanners. Like literally pressed a button.
Yeah.
At around 10 o'clock,
Oh.
all my power went out.
Oh, because of the lightning
the
storm.
thunderstorm, yeah,
Dude,
yeah.
first off, yeah, that fucking lightning storm was
Oh, you guys are going
badass.
to talk about the weather again.
Oh,
you old
shit.
fuckers.
You're right.
Every time.
Dude, it's spectacular weather. There's a difference
Talking
when
about food and weather. That's,
I caused the weather last night, by the way.
was that you?
Jeff,
Yeah.
what?
So Jeff gets super high.
Yeah, I got super high, and then I did
Control the
another
weather?
strain, and then I ate some lemon heads, and as soon as I got done eating the lemon heads, that's when the weather started.
And so,
So,
you were the
yeah.
one who started the weather.
Yeah, I
I'll
was.
give it to him.
Yeah.
I mean,
It was that joint.
can't
It was that
just
I
prove
big
it.
became
A guy,
superpowers.
a
yeah,
guy
from
this
the joint.
powerless has to have something going for him. We're just going to give it to him, okay? Just give it to him.
All right, Jeff, you get this one.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, he started it. It was pretty epic. I'm laughing at all of my friends who, well, quote unquote friends on Facebook, who were like, I was at the fair and I got completely soaked. And I was like, I'd be running for my life with all those lightning strikes.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
It shut down the fair.
okay,
It
I'm
turned
good
everything off, yeah.
because like we're in Tacoma and it really wasn't centered over us. It was mostly Puyallup going up north.
Yeah.
And
You went right over top of my house.
yeah, right up that area. And it was like we looked on the little lightning strike map. You can apparently download an app or
Fucking
some
everywhere.
shit. Yeah, and it was just these huge streaks, and my wife was freaking out, understandably, because there's one like less than a lightning strike, less than a mile from our house, and the whole sky was just lit up.
Oh
I had
my
a block
God.
from my house hit the transformer, and I'm pretty sure that's
Listen to you,
'Cause it-
old
Dude,
No,
Right.
on the go on the Tacoma subreddit.
Whatever, man. You know
there
what
are
I did?
videos of the
I was like-
transformer exploding. Exactly what he's
Yeah.
talking about.
I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, that's loud. I need to turn
Yeah,
up the TV.
I don't want to brag, guys, but I knew that was coming because my knee had been aching earlier
There
in
you
the
go.
day.
Like, I just turned up the TV.
These
I
fucking
just,
old guys.
Whatever. Finished. Like, who watches the weather go by their house?
I did.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, dude.
Fuck off.
my porch kind of overlooks my neighborhood in most of Tacoma, and it is the best view when lightning starts hitting.
Dude, I
'Cause
wish I
just
would have
sit
been
out
here.
there.
We're down at the
Yeah.
Union Club, and just being able to watch that,
Yeah.
like in the safety of the building with these giant windows, would have been fantastic.
Gorgeous.
God,
I
that would've been
normally
amazing.
it's a really good date idea for your ladies or anything like that. When a lightning storm starts to hit, there's a bar over on Pioneer out towards Puyallup called the Chalet.
Okay.
I know
Go-
exactly
Oh
what
yeah,
the
yeah,
shot
yeah,
is.
yeah.
Go to
Oh,
the
yeah,
chalet.
First time Scott and I ever did drugs together.
It was actually one of the very first
Dude,
times.
go
That's how
park-
come we became best friends.
Park in that parking lot, and you see the whole river basin of Puyallup. When there's a lightning storm, it's the best fucking view.
Dude,
Oh,
that,
good
that,
call, dude.
get a
Good
blanket.
call,
What's his
man.
name hangs out there? Biff. Remember?
Yeah, good old Biff. Biff's
Yeah,
Blue
our
Ribbon Barbecue Sauce.
We had a barbecue sauce guy on a couple of times.
Yeah.
He
That was
hangs out there
pre
all the
me,
time.
man,
Yeah, he's
but
great.
I'm jealous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The problem with the chalet is the drive to get there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
That's
Yeah.
like
That's not bad.
Yeah.
It is when
Captain
you,
Drunk
you
Drive.
It's
can't.
not bad from your house.
Well, because I Uber, but that's why. I Uber
I've never
everywhere.
been in the chalet, but I've watched many lightning storms from the parking lot. It's just a good spot for it.
We've been in there a couple
Yeah.
times.
Yeah.
So Rusty
It's
did.
expensive for
So through all that long story, Rusty had
Scanners.
the best excuse. Let's watch Scanners.
You're not wrong, dude.
Doesn't
Yeah,
watch
I don't-
Scanners. God. Oh, everyone's gonna
has-
hate on this. So Ken watched it.
Did you watch it, Ken?
I did. Actually,
Nice.
for the first time ever.
Oh
Wow,
you've
really?
never watched
And
it
that
before?
was the
Okay.
barter I had to do was Scanners. I ended up watching a movie called fucking Defending Your Life with Meryl Streep.
Yeah, Brogan was trying to say that was
That's a good movie.
It is actually it's a really good movie.
What is it?
It's Meryl Streep and a guy who kind of looks like Steve Gutenberg.
Yeah.
They end up
But it's not Steve
No,
Gutenberg.
he's
But it's
super,
not.
That
Like
guy's
they
super
couldn't get
famous.
Steve Gutenberg.
He's like a soft version of Steve
no.
Gutenberg.
the dude wrote it. Like the dude wrote the movie and directed it, so he's also starring in it. This is
Diet
like sort of,
Gutenberg.
Oh, sure.
and then
yeah,
it
yeah.
ended up.
I'll bet you know who it is. Do you know this movie?
I don't know.
Oh,
It's a
it's
great movie.
It's Albert
Dude,
Brooks.
someone has
Yeah,
to.
Albert
shit,
Brooks.
Albert
yeah.
Brooks.
See?
But he looks like discount Steve Gutenberg in this movie.
Maybe
Because
Steve
he's-
Gutenberg looks like discount Albert Brooks.
Oh,
Yeah, what?
In my
All
book,
right.
it is.
Yeah, for
because
real.
I think much more highly of that actor, even though I couldn't pull his
Absolutely.
name out of my
Albert
ass.
Brooks has had longevity.
Yes,
Gutenberg
look, he's
had
pulled off some
the
movies.
Police Academies, and that's
movies.
about it, right?
And the one where
and
he
the Bible.
faked to be a fat dude that lost weight to become a phony Kiwi to get laid.
Holy shit.
God, that's
Wow.
a great movie.
Also, I was going to say.
movie was
Oh,
So- oh.
dude. No,
Where he
I'll
was
give you the-
running. I
that's
remember
not
he was running
Cocoon.
with the girl.
It's not.
Oh, and Cocoon. is not Cocoon.
He also did 3
I
Men and
remember
a
that
Baby.
movie. I know
Yeah,
what
he-
you're talking about.
he was
Holy
like
shit,
a
that was
fat
I don't know why you're
albino.
hating on Gutenberg. He had good fucking movies.
He's fine. He's fine.
I love Police Academy.
Yeah.
Okay.
All
So-
75 of them.
They were all fucking good.
So name the other guy. Who was the other guy we were just
Albert
talking about?
Brooks.
Name some of his movies.
That one defending your life or whatever.
I'm sorry, this doesn't hold up.
No,
He-
No, I got to know the
So,
net worth of
he
Albert
just-
Brooks.
He actually posted this. He posted this in our. We have a group chat, and he posted this. Oh, and Brogan's like, "This is a great movie."
I've
I
seen
was
that movie.
like,
It's a good movie.
It's
It
a good
is.
movie.
It's a decent movie, I
So
guess.
the premise is the guy's a douchebag. He's an ad executive. He buys a Beamer, dies because he drives the Beamer in front of a bus. He's got to defend his
Meet Joe
life.
Black?
Heaven.
No, but they all go. He ends up at a kind of purgatory, and where it's called Judgment City, and you've got a certain amount of days that they go over to, and you have to defend whether or not you go back as a human or if you get to ascend to whatever they don't.
Yeah, like if you got to get back in line.
Yeah.
Is it safe to say that Meryl Streep doesn't make shitty movies? Maybe.
I think
That's
maybe,
pretty-
yeah,
that's
I think
pretty
that's a pretty
accurate,
good
yeah.
call
Yeah,
on that.
okay.
And
Even
so,
Mamma Mia 2 was pretty good.
Right.
Like, don't hate on Mamma
just,
Mia.
Just
at
by
all.
I love
virtue,
that.
The first one or the second
First one is
one. You
great.
fuck with my musicals.
just by virtue of the fact that she's
All right.
Meryl Streep. I mean,
Albert
you know what I
Brooks'
mean?
net worth $28 million.
shit, all right, then. Don't look up Steve
Steve-
Gutenberg. Don't look up
Steve Gutenberg could buy Albert Brooks if he wanted to.
Yeah,
just
more
based
than
on
that.
the Police Academy
Has to
royalties
have.
alone.
But,
Has to be.
but that was the
3
80s.
Men
He
and a
had to.
Baby.
He had to
Look
have
who's
squandered
talking.
it.
Look who's talking.
He's had to have squandered
wasn't
that.
him.
That was Bruce Willis, wasn't it?
No, that
Yeah,
was
that was
all
Bruce
up his
Willis and
nose.
John
It
Travolta.
had to
you
go
go.
all up his nose.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Gutenberg, he looked
You
like a
think so?
coke. He looked like a coke user.
I love that you just threw that out there. He's like, yeah, coke and prostitutes.
It was the
He was
80s.
into it.
Male
$15
prostitutes,
million.
yeah.
Oh, male.
Oh,
yeah, big thing in the
Albert
80s.
wins. I don't know why I'm anyway.
Well, he produced and made movies, right?
Yeah.
Gutenberg never.
Isn't
made
Albert
movies.
Brooks like the kind of like the nervous Woody
yeah.
Allen kind of archetype?
Yeah, he's-
yeah.
yeah.
Shit.
So anyway, I watched Defending Your Life, and then I told my wife, I was like, now we need to watch Scanners. So I was able to
Yeah.
subject my wife
Did she
to
hate
Scanners as well. Oh yeah, she
she
did
hate
not
it?
like it.
God, that's like what a devil's deal you made.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like,
I don't know why we landed on Scanners. Who opened their mouth?
Well, and
did
what's
that?
so funny is I thought they were talking about Screamers.
Don't look
I'm
at
like, I don't
me.
need to watch
What's
that. I've
your
seen that movie a million times.
What the fuck is Screamers?
It's
It's a
this
much
great-
better movie.
Best
It's
movie
this
ever.
porn. Obviously.
No, okay, so no.
Screamers 3 was way better than Screamers 6. I'm just saying.
All right.
I hate to be hipster about it.
black
but-
Purist. So anyway, Brogan, what the hell is Screamers about?
So Screamers is a post-apocalyptic future sci-fi space movie.
The fuck?
Where there's a long-distance moon colony somewhere
Okay.
that mysteriously drops
Probably
off
on
the
the
radar.
moon.
They just
This
disappear.
is aliens, isn't
So
it?
they send another team to go figure out what the fuck happened to this outpost.
Still-
Definitely
RoboCop's
aliens.
Still
on the team,
alien.
right?
Yeah, still aliens.
No,
Starring
not really.
Peter Weller.
So RoboCop's on the team.
Oh.
So RoboCop's on the team.
I'm in.
They show up to this abandoned thing and they can't figure out what happened. Well,
Your
some
move, creep.
alien race took the brains out of all these dead people and hooked them to basically skill saws that work like tremors all over the planet.
Oh.
They can break into buildings and shit, and they just like jump out of the ground and like buzzsaw you to death.
So
and
literally
Yes.
space tremors.
Space Jason the Wheeled Warriors.
But just to, I think Brogan's on the right track. Did you read it? Or because I thought they were used as like mines. The things that are screamers were basically AI mines.
Oh,
that
I thought
hide
they
in
had
the
people
ground.
brains in them though.
Well, they started to evolve.
Oh,
and
that's
then
what it
everybody's
was.
freaking out. They're like, holy
I don't know. I
shit.
remember this
That's
one being
when
like
people
14.
start freaking out.
Yeah,
when
yeah,
they evolve.
yeah, when they start.
All right.
Did you watch Screamers as well, Jeff?
Yeah. Oh, that's my favorite number.
Damn.
Yeah,
top
why-
I
10
guess we
movies.
should have done Screamers.
Maybe,
Why do we?
maybe
do
the next
Scanners?
time.
I don't know why. Who was saying they wanted to
You.
do
It was
It
you.
was not me.
It had to be you.
First off, I never even heard of this fucking movie.
You
although it
never
has-
heard of Scanners
it
before?
has the bald guy. What's the bald guy's name?
Mike Ironside.
Michael Irons.
Yeah,
It has
Ironside.
Michael
He's
Ironside,
in every
yeah.
fucking video game in the world.
And by the
And-
way,
and
he is like
Stormtroopers.
he's like hands down the best actor in this movie.
Yes.
I believe you.
Like-
I
like-
watched the trailer.
Yeah.
Are we going
Oh,
into
you watched the
Scanners
trailers?
right now?
We're going into Scanners.
All right.
So I'm gonna read the description for everyone out there. By the way, you can literally just pause.
Can I put this away real quick?
Yeah.
All right. So the reason that Albert Brooks has got so much fucking money is because he does a huge amount of voice acting.
Oh. Okay.
He's
That's
like in
money,
a
man.
bunch of
Alright.
episodes of The Simpsons,
that is
Secret
a
Life
lot
of
of
Pets,
Oh shit.
Dory, Finding Nemo, some kind of Prince
Is
of
he
Persia.
is he the Simpsons?
He's the dad in Finding Nemo, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Son of a bitch.
Okay.
All right. Well, now that makes more sense.
Got
Yeah.
Disney money now.
Long live Albert Brooks.
He's in Dr. Dolittle.
Okay.
Well, I'm glad he found his son.
Honestly, that defending your
P.
life.
Sherman,
movie is a
42
great
Wallaby
movie.
Way.
What
70.
is that about, anyways?
The defending your life.
We just went through
We
that.
just went through it. They go to Judgment City and they have to basically defend their life to
Are you just
judges.
making him do it again.
Were you listening
Oh
to
yeah,
the
yeah.
Duke
Okay,
story?
Yeah,
gotcha.
yeah, yeah.
Gotcha,
And then
gotcha.
Meryl,
Yeah, no,
Meryl
I'm with
Streep
it.
had like the best
with it.
life. Like
I
she
think-
like adopted children and saved them from fires.
I feel like
and
Rusty
he's like
just
an ad
trolled you in
executive.
real life. a
No,
little
I
bit.
didn't mean to.
Fuck,
I
I'm
didn't
still
mean to. We talked
explaining
about
it.
so many movie
right, do
synopses.
Wait.
Okay.
Before we go, wait. I need a beer though. So
Okay.
hold on.
All right. So
Wait for me.
okay. So we're gonna take a break. We're
Yeah.
gonna go refill our beers. Probably take a leak, and then when we come back.
Can I talk to the director? This light's really hot right here, and I'm just
It's because you're
kidding.
really hot.
kidding. Oh, I know.
Oh, I'm not even
They give
recording
us the
myself.
lights.
For the 6 Patreons that are watching.
Because of the way
No, the 3 Patreons because that's out of the 6, 3 of us are. Or
Yeah, but I
three
want
of
to
us
be
are in
able
this
to
building.
really see them.
Why don't we do this at your house?
Because I like the Union Club.
Well, that we didn't want the other
Well, we had
interviews
other
that were
gue-
here.
yeah, we had
They were
other guests
strangers.
We had other just random people.
Today?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that guy out
Yeah.
back. He was up here earlier, wasn't he, with you guys?
Oh yeah,
no.
he was. yeah. He
Yeah, he
actually makes handicap porn. It's actually kind of a niche market.
the
Maybe
guy
you
that
haven't
was
heard
here
about it
earlier.
yet.
That sounds hot.
I've heard about
It's
it.
handy
Oh, yeah.
capable.
You ain't never heard.
I actually am a subscriber of their Patreon.
Perfect. Then you know what an autistic orgasm sounds like.
Oh my god.
No, it's the sign language person I get the kick out of.
Oh,
Yeah, he has the sign language in the corner. Yes.
All right, we're coming back.
There's still a place in my heart for hookers that
A
fuck handicapped
dyslexic orgasm.
You know what I mean?
There's just a place in my heart for
Ooh,
hookers, period.
Well, yeah, but more so the ones that like purposely take on handicapped dudes that can't.
They're
get
doing
laid
the
as well.
community a
Fucking
service,
dope.
honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Community service.
That's an important. They're
pretty
doing
much-
important work.
That's how I feel about my girlfriend as well. Like, I really appreciate you for fucking me, because why?
Yeah, we are lucky in that respect, sir.
We're
Same.
fighting way out of our weight class.
Same
there.
with my wife.
Yeah, I
Good
feel you
shit.
there. All right, so we are back, and hey, Brogan, before we get to the scanners
fuck
talk,
you.
we're going to take even longer. No, fuck off, man. I got something because a couple weeks ago,
Oh shit!
yeah, right, I brought it.
Wow.
So, yeah, a
Yay.
couple weeks ago, I gave Scott his gift because he actually comes to the podcasts, and finally you're here, and finally I brought it. So after fucking 20, how many years? 20 years?
25.
Fucking about 20 years.
Wow.
20
Did you give
years.
me a
did.
backpack?
Oh, it's a
You got
JanSport.
a JanSport backpack, much like the one that I stole
Right.
20 years ago when I moved to Arizona. And now
How much was that?
that was like $65.
I want a JanSport.
I hope he fucking left the price tag on
Yeah,
it like
it
a
should've,
cheese.
It's
Yeah.
a nice. It's straight
Yeah,
edge.
you
It's a
better
nice
know
one.
how much he likes
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. See?
Only $60 worth.
But for a backpack, you know what I mean?
That's a great
No,
back-to-school backpack.
I-
Hide it from your wife because I know
That's
she
a
hates
good
your
one
backpacks.
right there, man.
But
No,
I
fuck
bought
that
a, I
noise.
bought a
This is my
few. I bought my
backpack.
daughter a backpack, and then I bought me one. It's a Go Ruck bag.
Oh,
and they
yeah.
were both $100 a piece.
Yeah.
but it's been 8 years or some shit like that.
Yeah.
Perfect still.
Yeah,
absolutely
so
perfect.
The history with this is I moved to Arizona on a whim with hardly any money, and I stole his backpack.
Did he know you were stealing it?
No.
No.
He
Oh,
found it. He
motherfucker.
found out sometime later when he's like, "Bitch, you stole my backpack" on like instant messenger.
When Justin says moved, he means ran away.
He ran
I
away.
didn't run away. I went for a chick. There's a
No,
difference.
he chased.
That's
I went
he
for an
chased the
internet
mystery
chick.
internet pussy.
Yeah, yeah.
Did
One
he
of
I've
my
never done that.
one
That's
of my
funny.
many life failures in my early years.
He was
wait.
wearing mascara and listening to the
I
Corn
would
at the
no,
time.
First off, it's corn, not the corn.
Oh, my bad.
And second off, I
Same
couldn't
difference.
afford mascara. So
Did
I
you meet
wasn't-
her on IRC chat?
No, I met her on AOL RP
Wow.
chat rooms.
RP.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah.
So you're saying
Fascinating.
it didn't work out then?
No,
Or-
no, it didn't
Oh,
work
okay.
out. No,
All
because
right.
she was dating a 51-year-old also.
Where did you? Oh,
Yeah.
so you
he
went,
had a
oh,
job.
I would say that was a plus.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you got some freaky
you,
three-way.
you drove down there,
I drove down there.
and then where did you stay?
I stayed at the house,
Her house.
her place.
Could you hear him
Wait,
doing
was
it?
she? Did she live with the guy?
She did.
She lived with the guy.
Yeah.
Oh my
I
god, that's
didn't
fucking
know-
amazing.
I didn't know this.
No, it doesn't matter.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, I drove into this
This
thinking
is a
one
little better
thing.
than scanners right now.
That's way fucking better than scanners.
Oh,
Yeah.
deep.
That's amazing. No, you. So you do.
Yeah.
So how long did you stay there?
About a month, maybe.
Whoa.
No,
I was
a little
trying to get a
longer than
job.
that.
Maybe
It's
6
6
weeks.
weeks.
Yeah,
Okay,
I was trying to get a
okay.
job. I was trying to get a job at that point.
So
got a lot of
whoa. So the dude,
yeah.
did he just wonder who the fuck you were? Because it seems like she didn't say anything to you about the guy.
It was one of those things. I don't know, but he was like cool with me staying in the other room.
Did you and her hook up at all while you're there?
No.
Don't lie.
No.
Really?
Did she
No,
mouth
we
kiss
went like
you,
on a
though?
date. Yeah.
Did you
we
and the
like
guy
kissed and
hook
made
up?
out. No, no, it's a valid question. I mean, like when something weird like that happens, you don't know where it's gonna go at this point. Like, and
Yeah, you just throw your hands up and be like, "Well, I guess
Well,
I'm fucking him, now.
Dude.
and it's like I'm driving down there. I'm staying at the place.
Right.
No,
You're there for 6 weeks. You
I
got to
came
pay
all the way
rent.
down here.
You
I'm
know what I
gonna
mean?
get laid.
and it was getting to that point where, and then it's like I was like, oh, I gotta pay rent. I'm gonna have to do something. I'm gonna have to get the fuck out of here. Well, fortunately, then my car fucking died.
And you abandoned it in the fucking desert.
I abandoned it.
How did you get back up? Did Brogan lend you money?
No, my mom lended me money. Got me
Oh.
Greyhound money to get back
How
up
old
here.
were you?
18.
No.
Oh, shit.
I was
You were
20?
Yeah, maybe 18.
Okay, yeah. 18, yeah, because I was
18.
20 when I moved to Jersey.
Yeah.
But that was different because I was with my aunt.
That was
And
with
then,
a
but
different
then you
girl.
came back because you turned 21 here.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
you were like 17, 18.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
were right after high school.
How was that bus ride up?
Fucking terrible.
Dude, Greyhound bus rides are the
Oh,
best,
I'm
dude.
taking them for shows. And
So
shit. They're
so
amazing.
Greyhound from Phoenix, Arizona to LA, the first leg. I was the last person on the bus, so I had to sit up all the way up the front with a woman who was no shit, like 350, 400 pounds.
She was the driver.
No.
Oh, no,
She
okay.
was just the first seat.
So you weren't the only person on the bus.
No, the whole bus was
okay.
completely full.
Oh.
Except for the seat right next to her.
He picked that seat, bro. The whole
had
bus
to.
was empty, and he was like, "Hey, I got
like,
a
hey,
couple hours."
Who lives at home with you?
Looks like it's just you and
So,
me.
yeah, so this is
internet broad didn't work out.
This
so.
was the cap on this shit sandwich.
Fucking
just-
scanners were never getting to scanners.
So 6 hours to LA, and then catch it on the way up. Fucking, and like the rest of it was mostly uneventful. But staying in like Bakersfield is just a shithole.
You got catfished by a couple.
Oh,
That's
like
fun.
catfishing before catfishing was
Yeah,
a thing.
yeah,
Man. This
yeah.
was like seriously like 22 years ago, I think. By
Did
doing
you know
the
what she
math.
looked like before you went?
No, this is
Whoa.
AOL chat rooms,
Whoa.
dude.
Whoa.
Oh, this
Well,
is you
you
couldn't
didn't
get a
even get a-
picture of yourself
true.
on the
You
internet.
couldn't even get a picture. You didn't even
Like
know
an
what she looked
8-bit
like.
No.
an 8-bit
Wow.
picture.
No.
You know what though, dude, bro? That takes some fucking huevos to go across the country just after
What was,
some.
what was
guys.
going wrong in your life?
You
when
were just like, fuck it, I'm going for this, dude. Yeah, good for you, man.
And you know what? To be perfectly honest, nothing was really going terrible,
man,
but
whatever, man.
it was something.
It takes some
I mean,
balls to
I'm
fucking
sorry,
just pull a
but
brutes
boys.
and
You
haul
got to
ass,
know
right?
another thing.
Absolutely.
Huh.
what
He
happened?
did it again and went to Wisconsin.
Well, what? New Jersey and
That
Wisconsin?
was like 2 years
I think
later.
that's close, Justin.
Yeah,
There
so
were
I moved,
still no internet pictures.
there was still no internet pictures. No, but to be perfectly honest, that one wasn't a relationship thing. It was a kind of she wanted it to be. Then she said she had herpes, and I was like, what the
Oh
fuck?
my god,
Dude, after I got there,
Look,
after I
hold
got
on.
there.
To be fair to her, she couldn't have brought that up beforehand. You wouldn't have came.
That's true. But it was one of those things. There was no necessarily like relationship premise when it came to it. It was like she was like, "Oh, I've got another room," and I wanted to move from.
So did
not-
you fuck her?
No.
Oh.
Because she told me she had herpes, and I was
He's
like, I'm
never,
not going
dude,
to.
he's not admitting to
pussy.
fucking anything on this podcast ever. He's never gonna. He's like,
My
no.
sex life was terrible.
Do you have
because of
sex
this
with
shit.
your wife?
Yes.
Oh,
Absolutely do, yes.
Apparently.
Does she know?
Yes. Jesus
Yo.
Christ.
She said it's kind of it kind of feels like meat.
Is it
Oh, you
consensual?
That
So,
was a
anyway-
good callback, sir. That was
Right.
nice.
Nice.
Hey,
So-
anyway, thank you very much for the backpack. It means a lot to me. I'll leave you now alone about my backpack.
I know. I had
Oh.
to explain all of that
He
and
got
go
me
through
my
all of that.
my Gerber too.
Yeah.
Remember my Gerber? Yeah, but he brought a brand new one.
Yeah.
and goes,
Bought a brand new
it's
one,
right
so
Hold
now.
on, hold on. Do we need to worry about you like committing suicide soon or anything?
No,
like you're
no.
making
no.
amends.
We
Are
already
you
went all
12
through that.
stepping or you're 12
No,
stepping?
we already went through all of that. We don't have to
Okay,
worry about
all right.
that. I'm in a better place now. I'm not chasing internet women,
Are
so
you
it kind of
sure,
works
bro?
out.
Because
Yeah.
I don't think I've met anybody that's went across the country more times for a poon than you.
To
I
have
only
it
did
not work
I only
out.
did it twice.
3 times.
3 times.
You
You
went
went-
to New Jersey too.
Yeah.
but
Well,
there
no,
was
that
poon
New
there.
Jersey. No, there's no.
That
poon
was
in-
aunt.
That was my aunt because
Come
I
on, man.
needed
That was
to
a
get out of
CD section
Wisconsin.
of porn.
Poon.
Come
Poon.
on,
No,
man.
it's not that. This isn't one of those special little thumbnails
all,
on,
Where did
XXX
Scott come up
and-
with poon?
They like
again?
that. I
was
threw
dead.
that one on perfect.
That
right?
was really good and dead for a long
Yes.
time, and you're bringing it back. And
Yeah.
it's-
Well, I
never
just
did.
every once in a while I can throw a good one out there.
The word
Are you
poon?
doing well? Are you okay?
Yeah, what's wrong with
mentally?
me? Am I not right?
Just checking.
So, for those out there
It
who
worked.
may or may not have watched Scanners,
Nobody did.
I love how you just changed the subject.
oh, we're moving on from that. You might know.
And edit.
Yeah. No. I'll keep all this in because I don't know.
Because you have to,
I'm a
because we don't
masochist.
have enough hours to do
So the premise of Scanners, Daryl Revick is a rogue leader of the world's 237 scanners who are capable of reading minds and inflicting incredible psychic torment, except one who has been captured by a corporate entity bent on destroying the movement. And first off, I'm going to tell all you motherfuckers, 4 stars on
Is Rutger Hauer
Amazon
in this
Prime.
movie?
No, there's
Nope.
no Rutger Hauer. There's nothing good enough.
Michael
like that.
Ironside.
Yeah, Michael Ironside and a bunch of people who can't act as good as Michael Ironside.
Nobody can act as good.
Oh, and I have to throw this out,
especially Scott.
That guy who blew up in the first part of it, that's Frank Oz too, I believe.
What?
Yeah, I believe so.
Really?
Yeah.
Actually, the doctor, professor, leader of the study guy for
Yep.
the company, that's Patrick McGoohan, I believe,
Yes,
or something
yes.
like that.
Now,
And he's actually pretty
Goohan.
goddamn good
He
actor.
got top beaten off.
Okay.
Goohan.
here's
He was Edward the
Wow.
Longshanks in Braveheart.
Oh,
Really?
And he was also the dad in The Phantom with.
someone's
with
done their
Billy
research.
Zane. Well, I did because I
He's
thought
a
I
director.
recognized
Phantom
him.
with
I
Billy
know.
Zane.
When I watched it, I was like, I recognize this guy, but I don't know where I recognize
wait,
him from. So I
Billy
looked it up.
Zane, the Phantom.
Yes, he was his
Oh,
dad.
that's a great movie.
So
in that movie.
here's my problem with him in this movie. It seemed like he was on heroin the entire time. Like he was like leaning back and being very bored with the entire thing.
See, I thought
I mean, wouldn't
Kinda
you
like
have been
how I
though
am
if you
now.
were like
he
an
got
acclaimed
paid in
English
Arby's
actor?
coupons.
I thought he was really, really good right up until that last scene where he just like was in his brain. I don't know if you remember
Yeah.
where he was like just mumbling shit and the guy like shoots him from behind or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, so wait, spoiler alert.
Yeah. Okay. Whatever.
But yeah, like he's sitting there and he starts mumbling some shit about whatever, and I was super confused at that. I was like, this is the most confusing part of this entire movie. Right
I mean,
now.
it's probably he was at the point in his career he's like, "Fuck, I'm doing a Cronenberg. God damn it!"
But he
you
did
know?
a good job. I
He
thought
did.
he
He
did a
was
really
Doing
good
a
job. through most of
Cronenberg.
it.
And so that's like one of those interesting things. Like whenever I hear David Cronenberg's name, I'm like, oh yeah, I remember that name. And then
Yeah, from Rick and Morty.
and then I see movies, and then I'm like,
Because I
oh,
asked
He
you.
knew what I was talking
I was like,
about.
I don't want to.
I don't even know who Cronenberg is.
me neither. I didn't know either.
I don't know. See,
You
Watch
know.
Rick and
The
Morty.
Fly.
That's all you need to know.
Like seriously,
Oh,
like
just
The Fly. He's
What
done
else?
The Fly.
The Fly's the most famous one.
yeah, the rest of them are you don't want to know.
where he
Right.
puts together weird.
I just
homogenized-
He's very much
It's all horror. Is
yeah.
it horror stuff?
a lot of
That's
most of it
probably
is.
why
Yeah,
I don't
horror
like
like
it.
creature stuff, body horror, stuff
Yeah.
like that.
So like I like
Okay,
The Fly. I like
that
The
makes
Fly
sense
because
then.
it's really good body horror.
Yes.
And
Well, The Fly's just a good movie, man.
yeah, well, and I
in
think it's
general.
because Jeff Goldblum's fucking weird.
Okay.
Yeah.
El fucko what-o?
Oh, we forgot about that.
Whoa.
Yeah. So Brogan just pulled out some feathers from the backpack. This isn't a magic trick. These feathers, if Brogan would listen to his own podcast, were from Susan Ackerman, who is our Point Defiance, our contact.
Oh, those are for Maddie. I remember now.
Yeah. So those are the feathers for her. Carl, my cat, did take one as a tithe for the house. Like literally, he literally pulled it out of the bag.
Apparently, those are all feathers from not North American birds, so
Yeah.
they're legal to have. So you're welcome.
So they're like
You're not a felon.
I'm sure he
the
is.
birds of
At least not for the feathers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're not on that list.
So going back to Scanners, I don't like seriously like
fuck this movie and what are we doing with our lives?
Well, we're both in the dark here because we didn't watch it.
Yeah.
so they're
Which
having
is too
fun.
bad,
They
man.
seem to be.
Because
It's
it
a
was
good
a really good
Screamers is
movie.
It's a
Is
good
it a
movie
good
to fall
movie?
asleep
No,
from.
it's
Okay,
not a
then
good
why-
movie
so
at
yeah,
all.
we didn't even get to the fact that Jeff watched like 10
wrong
minutes of
10
it,
minutes,
got too
yeah.
stoned and fell asleep.
Nice.
I
wife
can understand
finished
that
it,
because you know what? I tried to watch it 3 times and I fell asleep 3 times
Yeah,
trying to
no.
watch it. Dude, I'm not even joking. About a half an hour into it, it's so boring. It's just
It
like,
is very boring.
It's really slow.
incredibly
Okay,
boring.
so more importantly, the girl that you didn't get from the internet, Michelle, that you're married to.
Yes.
How did she like the movie?
You didn't get from the internet.
I'm just.
I-
No, he
should-
did.
Yeah.
Okay, well.
no, you
know.
put it wrong. Michelle picked Justin.
Yes,
There
Yeah,
was a difference.
yeah. She picked me, and she
Understandable.
sought me,
Yep.
but it was still via the internet. Thank you, Twitter. That was one that worked out, so that was pretty great. You know, hey, 1 for 3.
And you didn't have to move across the country.
I didn't. I think that's the key part.
I
right
mean,
there.
she would have moved across country for you.
I think she may have.
Yeah, you really
Yeah, I-
lucked the fuck out.
I don't
Sarah.
know why.
Jesus Christ, yeah.
Yeah, she probably wouldn't have moved across the country for you. I don't think so.
I think she would have.
I
might
think
have.
she would have.
She has those stalkery eyes.
Hey,
you.
those
She
are
still
those are
loves
beautiful-
this guy.
Those are full
Punching
of
up,
love,
dude. She's
not
punching
stock.
up.
Well,
I love not stock. No, but no, I actually appreciate the fact that she kept stalking me. Like,
totally. Did
Whatever.
She,
We're all pretty lucky.
That was kind
blah,
of
blah,
amazing.
Blah, blah,
Yeah.
So,
blah, blah.
did she watch Scanners?
she
Yes.
did.
Did she think it was a pile of shit?
Yes.
She's too nice to put it that way, but I
So,
mean,
yeah,
I mean, really, it was one of those things where we watched Defending Your Life, and then we watched Scanners, and I kind of looked at it, I was
Oh.
like, I'm kind of sorry.
You watched them back.
like it wasn't back to back the same night, but it was like
I give you Meryl Streep. You shit on me.
I gave her Michael Ironside.
Yeah,
and
not the same ballpark.
Yeah.
And
Not
a
The
guy-
only
even
Michael
close to the same
Ironside
league.
movie that matters is Total
You didn't
Recall.
watch it. In the movie, he drilled a hole
He was
in his
also
own
in
head.
the other, the Danish-Dutch director of the movie you just said.
Total Recall.
Total Recall, that's the one. He also directed Paul Verhoeven. He directed RoboCop and Starship Troopers, and Michael
Oh, that's
Ironside was in
right.
Starship
Oh
Troopers.
yeah,
love
look at this. I love the encyclopedia.
Michael
Oh,
Ironside
that's
is
right.
dope.
He was in Starship
he's
Troopers.
amazing.
He
And
was
all
the
those
one-armed
movies are
teacher.
dope.
He has no
Everything
Meryl
you
Streep,
said were
though.
all good.
And
What's
that's
up?
and that's
All
kind of
those
the
movies you
problem.
said were good too.
Oh, Paul
Stars-
Verhoeven is
Right.
the man, dude.
Yeah, see?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was a great movie. You
Rick
guys
Did
should
he
check
make
it out.
this one?
Yes.
Oh, he made this. Okay.
Yes.
No. Paul Verhoeven did not make Scanners.
No,
Oh,
no,
okay.
no,
Fuck
no, no,
Scanners.
Yeah,
no,
well,
no,
fuck
no.
him.
Are you
Cronin-
sure?
What?
Yes.
He
I'm
made
positive.
Total
Cronenberg.
Recall.
He made
Oh.
Total
Three
Recall,
titties.
RoboCop,
Three titties.
That made the movie.
Starship Troopers, not
I'm just talking
Scanners.
shit.
Wait, the guy who did Total Recall did Starship Troopers too?
yes.
Yeah, Starship Troopers is a good
Oh my God.
movie.
I don't know how I had a movie
Total
podcast,
Recall did.
considering I don't remember any fucking thing about
Like
movies
seriously,
ever.
like for rated 80s, did you actually watch any of the
No.
movies?
No, I definitely did. I absolutely did. I
He
get to
doesn't
pick
know
some of the
anything about
movies
any
all the
movies.
time.
Name one movie you watched.
No.
Never-ending Story.
Yeah,
I watched
Never
most of
Ending
You
them.
watched that when you were a
The
kid.
Last Starfighter.
Yeah, and last week. Fuck off. It's a great movie.
You watch that every month.
I don't know why you're, knocking me, motherfucker.
The one I listened to was the one where the Last Starfighter. And
Yes.
Oh,
that
I
was
love that movie.
hilarious.
They're making a second one, apparently.
Oh my god.
I'm in.
I don't know how.
The more Last Starfighter?
don't
The
fucking
Laster
know.
Starfighter?
The lastiest.
The
Lastiest Starfighter.
Just kidding.
Starfighter.
No, really, guys. The Last Starfighter. That's a Mel Brooks movie.
No, guys,
The
seriously
very-
this time.
Yeah.
I
No, but
still want
apparently they're
Spaceballs, too.
redoing it, or they're
Search for more money.
They're remaking everything.
Yeah,
That is true.
Yeah. But if they do a good job, I don't give a fuck. Although you need to not fucking touch Flight of the Navigator. God damn it. I will. I'm sorry.
Have
No.
you?
No, I agree. Leave it alone.
No, do
they
not
won't.
fucking-
They won't leave it alone. But
They won't.
I
But
still
do
say
not
leave it
fucking
alone.
touch that movie. That is a perfect movie. It's short. It's perfect. Fuck you. It's perfect.
You know, they've been trying to remake Back to the Future forever, but Robert Zemeckis won't
That's a
let
hard-
them.
Thank
Apparently,
you.
Robert
No,
Zemeckis
because
has
that's
written
another
in his
franchise needs
will
to be left
that
alone.
they cannot remake that movie.
Good.
I'm
They
like,
don't need
God
to.
bless this man.
Yeah.
Well, first
Because
off,
You don't need to fuck with it.
But
Yeah.
would you like to see the version of the movie where it had the other actor and
Eric
Michael
Stoltz?
J. Fox?
Wasn't it Penn?
No.
Sean Penn?
Yeah,
No,
no,
it was
I
Eric
want to see
Stoltz.
the version of that movie where he wakes up in the future and he's black. He's like, "Oh, Mom, what happened?"
oh, I get.
I like that because I like fish out of water stories, which is what Back to the Future kind of is.
Yeah, it was.
Well, I'm just working on interracial relations.
Are you?
Like 3 titties. I
Are
mean,
you
that did
working on
way
it right
better for
Is that how it's
interracial
going on?
relations.
is that interspecies
You
at
let
that
him
point?
just talk.
Well,
right?
Yeah.
Sometimes
yeah.
it
Okay,
happens.
yeah,
Yeah.
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 So we have a scene in Enter the Mind Dungeon where one of the characters, her name is Tara, she comes to the game table. They're all playing D&D in the study, and she says, "Does anyone mind if I read my erotic interracial fan fiction?"
Sweet.
And some people at the table were like, "Fuck yeah, I mind." And then other people at the table are like, "No, please."
Yes.
And then she starts to read it, and one of the guys snatches it, and he's like, he runs off. And then another character's like, "Do you have another copy of that?"
Beautiful.
I love that. That is amazing.
I've got game store interracial drama.
I believe it.
what?
Sorry. Well,
I don't want to know.
no, I probably shouldn't say it.
No, you
Probably
really
not.
shouldn't.
But
Not
I'll
on the
tell you guys
podcast.
the story when this is over.
I don't
Well,
even
that's
know
fine.
Can
how.
this be over
I like it.
soon?
Yeah, I think there might be a good point on that as well. I mean,
All right, so anyway, let's talk about Dead Drift, Penny Palabras, and Codename X Next thing that he's going to kickstart someday.
X Next
so at
thing.
least somebody gets something out of this besides a backpack.
we already talked about that. You're so salty. You just got a
You did
backpack.
get grumpy all of a
I
sudden.
don't know why
damn.
you're
Oh,
getting-
no.
Do you have
That's
enough
his
beers
bedtime.
in you?
You asked him to
Grumpy?
be here. This
No, I did
week.
not get enough beer.
Did the streetlights come on? Someone should have to be home.
Oh yeah.
No, he's got to go play WoW.
Yeah,
I do have
he's
to go play
fiending,
WoW.
he's fiending
That's what it
hardcore.
is.
Yeah.
Jeez.
So Ken, what's going on with Enter the Mind Dungeon?
Did you watch Scanners?
Yes, I
Did
did.
you watch
I
Scanners?
did. I did watch.
Okay,
it.
so I watched Scanners too. It was my
great.
first time ever watching Scanners just this last week.
Uh-huh.
And I think it could have been good.
He's not going to let us.
Wait. The
But the
minus
sound design was
Thank you.
terrible, but I think it was intentional.
Okay.
Because it was giving me a fucking headache.
I thought the
but
same
I think
thing.
he did that on purpose because he wanted you to know what it was like to have a scanner brain because they were getting headaches
Yeah.
and bloody noses and
The
blowing
sounding
up
and
and
like
shit.
the
I didn't-
garbling
I
and
didn't
the screeching.
Think about it that
Absolutely.
way.
I had to turn it down. I had to turn the volume down on my system because it was just like it was too irritating. But I was like, no, I'm going to stick it out and I'm going to watch the whole thing, even though I hate the sound design.
I thought the same thing when it came on and it starts playing music. I was like, oh, okay, this movie has a score, right? It's gonna
right.
How 80s is this score?
Right, and I was like, this movie's super 80s, and then everything was super high pitched, and I was like, fuck, this is annoying as balls. Every time they'd look at each other, they'd just be like, beep.
Yeah. I watched the trailer. And
Oh
was
my
like,
god,
nah.
it was terrible, right?
And each person had their own screech sound effect, so you
I
would
didn't
know
even
when.
notice
Yeah,
that.
you would know as the woman was scanning.
Fucking weird.
Was scanning the dude.
And it's so where you get that scene from South Park when Cartman is like when they're engaging in psychic battles with each other, and then like the sounds come in. I think that's all kind of inspired by scanners.
Absolutely.
And then for some reason, also the whole time I was watching the movie, I was like, this movie feels very Canadian.
And it totally
'Cause everything
was.
is
Totally
super nice.
100% Canadian.
100% Canadian. Yes. It's
My
like-
backpack will hold 15 inches of dick.
I'm sure it will. I'm sure it
The
will.
worst thing.
If you
sorry.
could fold it, you could
Somebody
probably
else
fit
is
more.
driving him home, right?
He
Oh, no,
probably-
I'm fine. I just
I'm
really
not
want this to be
sure.
fucking over.
He's just a pouty baby,
Oh.
and he can't handle being on a podcast. So
Aw.
I don't know what's wrong with him, but yeah,
I'll cut your tits.
I'm sure you will. I'm sure you will.
Yeah, sorry about that. I just wanted
No.
those are the
No,
things
no,
about
yeah.
I
scanners
got
that
one more
that
thing.
I wanted to
I got
talk
one
about.
more thing.
Don't apologize.
They
Yeah,
got
don't
me.
apologize for the thing we were actually supposed to talk about.
is every time anybody would talk, right, or they'd do the scanner thing, every time they would sit there and try and do the scanner thing, I always thought, like, who did the, who sat down and did the actors, like, let them, like, review or whatever they do, where they come in and they try for the part, like, how was
Okay.
that? They're like, okay, I want you to sit and pretend that you're getting scanned, like your brain, like, because half of the movie is just people sitting there doing like weird facial things, right? And then it's a sound going. So I was like, what was that audition? How was that
Right,
to
totally.
audition for, right?
So,
like,
I want to
just
see
sit there and look really
psychic battle.
concentration.
You're
Yeah.
engaging in a psychic battle with another person. So show me what that looks
Show
like.
me what it looks like
Go
to
ahead and
you,
show me
yeah.
that.
It was like half the fucking people in the
Yeah.
movie did that.
We're all just staring at each other
Right.
stupidly, like we literally just all
This is
stopped.
great audio.
I also did really like at the very end when that dude's eyeballs popped. That was kind of cool.
Dude, yeah.
that was pretty sweet.
Like, and I
You
mean,
scanned an eyeball out?
so
no, like these dudes were having a scanning battle, and like one of them, like his
scan battle.
eyeballs popped, and like he caught fire, and it's pretty crazy.
It
They
should-
had veins
shit.
pop out on their faces.
like no, like one of the scenes to show like immediately how powerful these scanners are is the famous head exploding scene that you've probably seen in GIF for like forever out
Right.
there.
Yeah.
And
The
you
only head
like,
exploding
it's a
thing
head
I think was the
explodes.
one
This
with
sounds
the
like a great
collars.
movie. I should really watch it.
No, and it's got some great
was
effects on that. And like,
If you need to go to sleep.
yeah, shut up, man. You just got too
At
stoned.
least definitely watch the last half
Yeah.
because the first half is
Defending your scanners.
iffy.
The acting is like
Well-
terrible except for one guy.
The middle sucks.
The middle is bad. Like them
It
trying
just
to
goes
get
so
to it.
slow, right?
There's parts that like you're like suddenly it's like, why did you have this in here? This really didn't make a whole lot of sense. There's a couple of those sort of things. So it's a mess. But
Yeah.
also I still think it's cool. Like, I mean, just for like the body horror sort of part of
Right.
that.
So I still haven't figured out who picked this.
You did.
you did.
No.
No, I'm pretty sure you
I have
did.
never seen
I was
Resident
told
Evil
this was your
wanted
idea.
to.
I'm pretty sure we'll all just
No,
blame
who's
Resident
the
Oh my
other
God!
Go
Did
with
this,
Resident.
did a ghost pick it?
No, who was the
Go
other
with-
guy at the barbecue?
Oh my
It was
God!
somebody
This
that
is
we
a
were sitting
rando
with.
pick.
Was
Maybe-
it Dunkelberg?
Maybe it was Dunkelberger.
no.
Fucking
I think it was
Dunkelberg.
Dunkelberger.
Sure, he's not here.
Dunkelberger
Let's
was
blame
at my
him.
party, so I
Yeah.
think
Brogan wasn't.
Brogan wasn't at the party.
No,
so it
because
wasn't.
yeah,
Dunkelberger
Captain
was.
telling me how to be a parent over here gave me
Yeah.
some dog shit about it.
Yeah, I told him to show up, but
I'm like, sorry, I gotta watch kids.
Anyway,
you can leave
man,
them home
Your
alone.
version of watching kids is playing WoW.
That-
And then
but
they
I
just,
had to be
And
in
he-
the house.
and they're not fucking kids. They're
I'm
like
glad you
old.
watched Scanners, bro. I'm glad
Another
you did.
another thing I
Yeah.
did like about Scanners is the very opening shot of the movie is not this wide establishing shot with like a helicopter
In the
roving
mall.
over a countryside. It's a shot of a door in a mall, and I'm like, oh, interesting choice. And then it gets right into things happening, and I'm like, oh, cool, this movie's going to be paced to the point where things are just going to happen, and I'm just going to be able to follow them. And I'm like, right on, this is a good start. I like it. And then I was like, what the fuck happened?
Right?
yeah,
Like-
you don't understand what happens, and then you go to another location where you don't understand what's happening. And since I've seen the movie, I know what's happening. My wife's like, did they need all of the shot of these people staring at this man? And I'm
It
like,
is like 40
it'll get there eventually. And I'm like, no, it's not going to get anywhere. It's just not getting there. It's not getting there. We're on this ride, and it's just kind of going all over the place. It's
You
no
didn't
person
watch
driving.
it either, did you, Jeff?
Well, I watched it.
He fell asleep.
Like he was
That's
talking
right.
about the mall thing, and I was noticing the lack of extras. Like they always focused on the people running up and down the stairs and stuff like that, but you didn't see anybody else, so you could tell it was an empty mall.
Also,
with like 12 people.
Also, the slowest, most ridiculous police chase.
Yes, the mall chase scene felt
Yeah.
like nobody was actually trying.
No, it's like one of those things where everybody,
They're
nobody,
mall walking.
This entire movie is nobody trying except for Michael Ironside.
Right.
When he it's like the last scene, like supposed to
does
have
a
this
good
big
job,
poignant
though.
talk. He does a great job.
He does.
But then the guy, the main character, the actor's name is Stephen Lack, and it's just the most
Ooh, look at
appropriate
you.
name
Nice.
ever. I just remember it because it's so
Because he
appropriate.
lacked.
Because he lacks a
He's
lot.
so bland.
He's got the eyes. He's got the eyes. So that was the
Yeah.
thing, is they just kept zooming in on these. Because he's got these giant, like, big blue eyes. Right?
What did it do box office? Did it actually make money?
Oh, that's a good
Probably
Yeah,
not.
somebody
It was
Google it.
no, like
I
literally.
want to know.
It
like,
was just Canadian box office.
oh yeah,
I wonder if it went to
so
VHS.
Minus half.
I looked up one of those, one of the information things on it, and David Cronenberg bitched about the fact that he had to write it in 2 months because it wasn't finished while he was shooting it.
Okay.
Because they had to get in under a certain time for tax exempt status.
Gotcha.
Wow.
So this is kind of like a tax write-off movie. It's like
Well,
kinda
I don't
like
want
one of the
to hear
Uwe
that
Boll sort of.
bullshit because they didn't have a script when they shot Iron Man in 2008, and look how that
Are
turned
you
out.
sure?
Yeah. Both
mean, they
Robert
had
Downey
comic
Jr.
books.
and
So the rough edges were there.
the kid from
like
John
15,
Favreau?
20 years ago.
Favreau.
Right.
That's the one.
Yeah, Fabro.
Yeah, they both said that there was
Favreau.
no script. They were just kind of making it up as they
They
went
just
along.
made it up?
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, I mean, they had a storyboard.
Yeah,
they didn't have
you
they didn't have a
absolutely-
dialogue script,
You had fucking 30 years of
Yeah.
comic books.
and not
You
to
could
mention
pick-
a huge budget.
Yeah.
All right, so I put this before you, council
Uh-oh.
of bearded humans.
Yeah.
Sure.
we are that.
We are all
Seeing
bearded.
is that
Fuck.
none of us actually did this.
I'm not watching it again.
No.
Fuck this movie.
I am going to offer we reconvene another episode
Okay.
and we all watch a movie, and I have a random dice roller between 1 and 6, and we all get to pick the movie.
Pick a movie.
Oh. Ooh.
And
Holy shit.
Now, are we in keeping with the scanners? Are we supposed to pick an intentionally bad movie?
well, I would
No, I think you
recommend we do something from the 80s.
Yeah, we went with Scanners just because it was an 80s
Because
movie.
Michael
Yeah,
podcast
but
said
I'll
it
do
A
was
movie
anything.
from the 80s that meant something to
Well,
you.
it has to be available as well because Scanners was
Okay.
hard
Well,
to
I
It
mean,
was
you
a
can't
pain
go-
in the
well,
dick
right.
to find.
Well, but you have
Yeah,
to
I
at
had to
least be
rent it. It was like
available, right?
$4.
Yeah,
I know.
Yeah, I
like,
know.
that's
Me
That I
too.
will never get back.
This
Right.
shitty podcast owes everybody
By the way,
$4.
that was $4 into the $14 million that it made, according to Box Office Mojo.
Actually, also, since I'm here on a podcast promoting my films, that's actually tax deductible.
Ooh,
Is
nice.
it?
Research,
Nice.
motherfucker.
Yeah.
That's
Should
like
be for
technically
everybody.
my
What the
gas
fuck?
and everything driving to gigs tax deductible.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to
Good
roll
luck
this
with
die
that.
know.
once. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and Jeff is 6.
I'm not ready. I'm not ready.
I'm going to
So-
roll it, and then we can talk for a few minutes while that one person picks a movie.
Okay.
Motherfuck.
See, I'm excited. I already
I've
know.
seen so many of them.
You already
Good
know.
or bad movies?
Oh, yeah.
Do
Oh,
you
yeah.
want-
Oh, yeah.
3.
Oh,
One-
fuck. I
that's
didn't
you.
want it to be me. God.
You can pass. I'll roll again.
See, I'll be
I?
perfectly honest. I was just going to say Tremors because I just want to watch Tremors
Oh,
again.
yeah, yeah.
So we had already talked
I
about
do
it.
love me some Tremors.
I
mean-
want a good movie, though. I want one that I think would be fun, that we would all like to watch.
Mine was going to be Hackers.
And is that why you say you shouldn't pick?
See, and after
you
Scan-
can't recommend something and him take it against your
No, you
recommendation.
can. I'll take all recommendations. Hackers is good. Tremors is good. Jeff, what do you got?
Critters.
Oh,
Ghoulies?
The Gate?
Ghoulies with the bad.
I
with
just
the
saw the
toilet
game.
Yeah,
monsters.
toilet monsters.
Attack of the Killer Tomatoes.
Ooh.
That's pretty bad.
Killer Clowns
Let
from
him
Outer
pick
Space.
himself.
I I don't know, dude. I
We
can't
picked the
do
guy
it.
who's
I
got
can't
like the
reroll.
least culture.
Yeah,
Reroll?
reroll.
Yeah.
I'm
He's
like,
gonna be like
I'm the
Rambo.
Worst, dude. I'm the worst, dude.
I'd
I
be
don't
like,
know, that
Ram,
works.
no.
Oh,
All
the-
right,
the new
re-rolling.
I don't know
6.
anything.
Jeff, what do you got?
There you go.
Oh, Jeff, not a porno. So you have to make sure you don't
Debbie
do a
Does
porn.
Dallas. It's 80s.
Yeah.
deep
She doesn't even do
throat.
Dallas. She does one guy.
I'm going to say Gremlins. This
Oh, is his name Dallas?
Gremlins.
Oh,
all right, all right,
Gremlins.
Gremlins.
We're in. We got it for Gremlins.
I have that
Actually,
memorized anyway.
I love the
so-
shit out of Gremlins.
See how easy was that? You said Gremlins. Like I love Gremlins. I could
Yeah.
have said that,
You could have, but you
but
didn't.
everybody's seen it,
What
so it
happened?
doesn't. It
You
seems
fucking
like,
we-
froze
we-
up,
we-
yo.
we
right
watched
because
Could've
it
done
doesn't seem
whatever you
cool
want.
enough, right? It's like a 3 on the cool list. I'm like,
Hold on, it's
wait,
one of
wait.
the best fucking movies in the world.
right, but
So
I
Scott,
mean,
you're the guy sitting over there not having an answer, and yet you're shitting on the person who does
Yeah.
have an
Yeah,
answer.
yeah.
All right, goodbye.
All right,
He was
goodbye,
worried
everyone.
about-
Seriously, Rusty, can people find you on social media?
Yeah, just
Are you-
Rusty Comic on the Facebook and
Perfect.
Instagram and sure.
Perfect.
Those.
Ken, where can people find you?
Yeah, look up Enter the Mind Dungeon on Facebook or Penny Palabras or Dead Drift. Any of those.
Seriously, guys, thank you so much. We will reconvene at a future date to
Sure.
discuss Gremlins. If you guys want to send us any information or suggestions or any comments or anything, info@gritcitypodcast.com. You can find us on all the social media that's available at gritcitypodcast.com and also available just via all of these links that are right on the... There he goes. I knew you had to hit that there. Right on this podcast page that you're looking at or listening to right now. Thank you guys so much for listening, and we are out of here. Bye. Yep, bye.